See, Queen, I always worry about the distortion. You see, what councillor does, a role of a ward councillor is to do oversight in any project. Remember, when there's a project, a councillor is called. It's normally through the RD's office. Introduce a contractor.
Say, can't you be contract
already? Yes, from some, maybe it could be the department or the province or city side. The councillor will convene a public meeting. Introduce a contractor to the public. Introduce the contractor to the SMMEs. The CLO is advertised. Then the councillor moves away. The councillor then plays a role of being an overseer of the particular project. Meaning? Remember, he still has to report back to the public in terms of the proceedings of that particular project. He does not introduce, then move away. Who's then responsible for giving updates to the community? It's the ward council. The CLO is there to communicate through the company and the community, but through a ward council. The role of a council, ward council, is to do the oversight. It must not be taken away from any councillor. They do not employ or give jobs to any particular individual.
It is said that councillors do have influence. CLO kuzoba ukhwini ngoba ukhwini mina nokhwini we vibe, so njengoba si vibe kuzoba right if mina kungena ukhwini. And then even the projects, because you find communities fighting over these projects, whereby now there's abo angeke kungena abantu base high in Vlakfontein ngoba the project is a Vlakfontein. How do you oversee a project ukuthi people that are hired there balance? Because also other people would say angeke nizoqhasha abantu abase Soweto in a project yase-Lenasia. Whereas there's many people that are unemployed in the ward. So maybe let's clarify when there's a project, and who hires them.
You see, Queen, I think being a chief whip also allows me space to deal with councillor complaints. I get a lot of complaints from the general public. They write about councillor conduct and so on. But they've always failed to give us evidence that links a councillor to the particular employment of a contractor or CLO. It's always a speculation. I always say to the public, if you have any proof of some sort that says councillor so and so has employed his sister or has instructed the contractor to employ this person, bring me proof so that we are able to deal with those cases. That's interference on its own. It goes against the code of conduct of councillors that says a councillor may not interfere in any project. But if there's no proof, it remains a speculation. Remember, once there's a CLO does a role of making sure that the community is employed. The wards vary. They use different systems. Some they use what you call Fudua, which is finder. Some use the CVs. It's different methods of employing people. And some will tell you no, they are employing only ANC members, but it's never been proven. It's a mere speculation. Some of these things are driven by political parties who are playing politics on the expense of the general public. And we've never been able to prove it because it's not there. Queen, I want to speak on the article that you just mentioned.
Yes, let's go back to Anc Joburg councillor SITHEMBISO caught in a school administration scandal in Zachariah Park Combined School. Maybe let's also clarify that. On top of the struggles parents are not going through, there are ANC officials like councillor. Was this sorted in the school?
This was just, you see, when someone plays politics, it was in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So every beginning of the year.
But it always resurfaces, right?
Every beginning of the year, we address admission issues with the ANC. The ANC requires us to go to schools as this way possible. There's this one lady, I think she was actually an SA lady. She just gets up, starts insulting everyone. She wants to be assisted before anyone. And I get up and I'm thinking, but why would you want to behave in this fashion? You are trying to assist, and then she starts taking a video. You ANC people are corrupt. We know we are going to put your own kids here, and we are going to do what. It was just you see. Maybe we need to. You see, the ANC is saying, Queen, they want to rebuild. You can't rebuild the ANC if your own communities are not rebuilt. We've got disgruntled communities that feel the ANC is actually deserted.
Hence, sometimes you are being accused of things that you don't know.
So I think we need to stick closer to our people. You know, like I'm saying to you, where I lead very well. If you were to come to my ward yourself, you'll realize that what I'm telling you is what is happening on the ground. I'm very close to my community. I always say that ward remains the ANC ward until safely say Jesus comes. Thank you.
And any resolutions between you and the guy who wants a protection order against you? Is that sorted?
No, long sorted.
Beautiful.
We find, I speak to, even with this new project, I'm the one who facilitated for peace talks between himself and the local SMMEs. Everything is fine, the work has resumed. But I also want to denounce the term construction mafia. It does not exist. This is a new derogatory term that wants to sideline our people from the economic emancipation. And the ANC must be very careful, must actually scrutinize these contractors that come to our wards and want us to destabilize our wards.
Just before we wrap up, the motion of no confidence. Tell me about that.
No, I think the DA is just bored. They just bought, you remember, it's their right to put a motion. The mayor has only been in the helm for 9 months. Why would you put a motion against a person that is on the ground? We can see what is happening. There's been a lot of challenges in the city of Johannesburg. It cannot be fixed within a day or two.
So the motion it's for the mayor, yourself, and the speaker.
Yes, remember, once they want to hit the head, obviously the entire team must go. We are the only executive, the three of us, the mayor, the speaker, and myself. So this motion is against the three of us, which will be served in council on the 28th of June. But it's a frivolous motion. They're saying the mayor is not doing enough to revive the city, of which we believe as the ANC caucus that the mayor is on the right path. Just the DA is just desperate for media.
The Democratic Alliance.
Yes, it's just the DA that has put the motion. And so we are going to defeat the motion. Our numbers are fine. And the motion will come and we are going to make sure that we defeat it. We are confident in the mayor. Queen, I must say, I think he's been doing very well. He's on the ground. He's not done what maybe everyone would have expected, but we believe that he's on the right path to revive the city of Johannesburg. We are confident in his leadership.
20 minutes before we hit 11, your last words, just before we close. There's a hashtag, hands of ZUNGU. One thing that I want to know is are people aware of umsebenzi like wakamasipala to them, so that we avoid our councillors being accused of mafia, like all this information that you've been sharing, not only in your award, but do you believe we need to have a proper education, political education? I need to teach political education, what the ANC is about, from apartheid to like a year to a plate. But now there's a gap between our people and knowing what's the role of a councillor. Councillor may better report because you'd find that other people, you are the chief whip, you oversee councillors. People don't know that. People say the problem. Others would say there's a problem. I believe it's in Ward 11 where people were saying like they would stop you on the road. We have a problem. Here's evidence that we can't get hold of our councillor. Here's evidence that we've been sending him messages and he's not responding. And we assess what's the viable channel to speak to our councillor, or even abantu abangaphezulu kwakhe. What are the channels that people can do or have to make it a point if they are not happy with councillor wabo, these are the proper channels, because in a very helping in cancer, motion of no confidence, and abantu kind of as good, oh yeah, but then when it comes to councillors, where do we report councillors?
Councillors are reported at my office or the speaker's office.
Okay.
And we always encourage our people to take that route. If you feel that the councillor is not reachable, or the councillor is not doing what they're expected to do, then you know where to report them, which is our offices, the office of the chief whip and the office of the speaker. But you see, Queen, we have what we call the civic education as the city of Johannesburg, where we teach our communities in terms of what are the roles of the ward councillors. I think at some point the roles of ward councillors are confused with what the officials may do. A councillor can only escalate matters to the officials. A councillor may not fix a pothole, may not instruct. You see, it goes against the code of conduct of councillors. You may not interfere in administration. The code is clear on that. A councillor can only escalate matters, be it electricity issues, water issues, GRA issues, and it ends there. A councillor may not go to GRA and instruct staff what to do, or remove them from the office to go and fix. You may be charged, even removed as a councillor. So we always tread carefully. I always tell councillors, tread carefully when it comes to that, so that we are not accused of interfering in administration. But we are not saying councillors may just sit back and not assist communities. We are elected to assist where possible. But I think as a city we have gone through a lot of challenges. Some of which we are not able to win. Some of which we are trying to maneuver where possible. A councillor who is not reachable is a no-no. And I may not say all councillors are fine. We've got councillors who are not reachable. We've been speaking to those councillors. They've been taken to our offices. We've spoken to them, and some we are seeing improvement. Some have not improved, but we still keep on engaging, because the community are still writing to us to say, Chief Whip, this particular councillor is not responding. We had a meeting with yourself in your office, but there's no change. You still continue to intervene where possible. But we encourage our people. I repeat it. If you have evidence that you have against a particular councillor, bring it to us. Let's have a look at it between myself and the speaker, then we know what decision we should take. Remember, there's a body in the city that is called ethics. If a councillor is believed to be working against the community, or maybe it's worked against the code, maybe taken to ethics. That's the process that the city has. Then the councillor may be removed. But if the communities are not raising these issues, we're not able to assist with the issues of councillors. But we are open. We've got a lot of people who are coming through. They do understand the roles now of their councillors. They know what a councillor may and may not do, so that they don't put unnecessary pressure to councillors. And yes, Queen.
Let's have our last words. The safety of our councillors. I'll always go back to that, because it's a mateni wabantu. You've spoken to the speaker, and what are your last advices to the councillors? Currently they are in, like, they feel our lives are in danger, or maybe they are currently living in fear. When people keep shooting or killing people, even not as women, we see a lot of women being killed, hijacked, raped, and all of that. And now it's sparked some fear into a lot of us, and I believe that even your female councillors are afraid of what if, and especially those who kunama projects where now mafia. Maybe your last words to them.
No, we've called an agent meeting tomorrow with the speaker, just after the council meeting. Tomorrow we've got a council meeting, an agent council meeting, extraordinary council. We've called a meeting with the councillors to discuss the issues of safety of councillors. I think that meeting should be able to guide us in terms of the way forward. We are also encouraging councillors to go and open cases, so that we are able to take it up and see if maybe we do this risk assessment. We know then where we stand with it in terms of their safety. But I think our meeting tomorrow should be able to guide us in terms of where we go with this discussion. I think it's long overdue. We might have taken longer as the city, but we are going to make sure that we get this done.
Thank you so much for availing yourself. Thank you so much for coming to clarify some of the questions that people may have had. You know, the minute we see scandals, and because I sometimes get propaganda and it will be called as a scandal, and sometimes one needs to defend themselves. Unity amongst comrades. People have said Gutama comrade Doko are the ones that are pushing that ZUNGU. Are you in good terms with your branch? Are you in good terms with your zone? Ni right branch whereby wonke umuntu one-beef now. All these things that are being circulated on social media.
You see, in any branch, there's always that factional element in the ANC, and I think we fail to deal with it as the ANC. You will find 1, 2, or 3 comrades who are still disgruntled, and they've never accepted that you were elected, and it's there. Theirs is just a personal matter. No matter how much you do, but in my branch we are very intact. I think I always tell my branch that I think we've got the best branch in the region of Johannesburg. A branch that still has over 15 members in the PEC participating. The branch has programs, and we are very much intact. And I must say that even if we go now, have a BGM, we will realize that we are a very strong branch of the ANC.
I love that. 10 minutes, actually not 10, but rather 12 minutes before we hit 11 o'clock. Thank you so much, Councillor ZUNGU.
Thank you.
Please note, or today there is a candlelight go Mutini, where we will be celebrating, or rather sharing memories about Councillor Thulane Buthelezi. We all know Councillor Thulane and one thing that is so sad, Councillor ZUNGU, what really happened to Comrade Thulane. So let's just keep those messages coming. Let's support the family during these difficult times. Let's make sure you know, Abo Mama Batandazayo, keep praying for South Africa, because we know every day a person is killed, and the way says Bulanana corner. But however, thank you so much. Tomorrow we are having a guest. We've already shared the posters circulating. Tomorrow Gugu will be joining us. Thank you so much to also Gugu for producing the show. Anyway, please make sure that you drive safe, you don't text and drive, you don't drink and drive, you obey the rules of the road. Yesterday's event was a success. I loved everything about it. It was divisions and divisions and divisions of June 16. People were commemorating the Youth Month, and one thing that I loved, I saw most of our leaders were on the ground as well, celebrating Youth Month and celebrating also this uprising. Anyway,
I agree.